Hello and welcome to Gary Walters In-Scale Update number 11. I thought this month I'd bring you a little bit of scenery work. I was hoping to get a lot further than I did, but I've had some unexpected deaths in family and friends. Also dealing with therapy, and the shoulder is getting much better. Hoping to return to work maybe next month. So with all of that being said, let's dive right in. Thanks.
Hello and welcome back. This is the first area of scenery that I'd actually started working on. Over there in the background, it's kind of fuzzy, but that's natural tunnel back there. I've extended that rock work around, and I started actually ballasting over in the oil depot first, but I've also extended that ballast over to here. And up underneath the bridge scenes, that is the double truss bridge from Cato up on top, and then I've got the highway overpass over on the other side of it. I still have to add the support for that underneath the highway overpass, but that's about the only thing I've got left. That, and I'm planning on a couple hobo scenes right in this area, so we'll get those installed, and I will update that later in the month, hopefully when I get the rest of the scenery on the peninsula done. But let's go ahead and take a look at the peninsula real quick and see what all we've gotten done so far. We'll kind of do like a drone footage, kind of. I'll try to take it kind of slow to keep you from getting too dizzy, and hopefully help the video quality as well. So we're going down through here. I've had this rock work done for a long time, but I've actually started putting the static grass in there, putting some shrubbery in, putting some trees in. I've still got a few details that I want to kind of add down through here, like a little bit of trash on the side of the rails or in the grassy area. I've also added some trees along on the fascia side. That way, as you're going down through here, it kind of breaks the train out of sight for a minute. But it'll come around. This is auto reverse on the lower side. It'll come around that rock work. It'll come down through here, and it'll come through this little grove of trees. And this is also one of the first areas that you'll actually see as you're coming into the layout. So I thought this would be a good way to break the trains up a little bit as they're coming around that auto reverse loop. I use several different colors on the static grass. I've got some dead weeds or dead grass. I've got light green, medium green, and dark green all blended in, ranging anywhere from 1.5 millimeters to 2 millimeters. Got the ballasting done on the main line and also on the spurs up to the road. I also started adding lines last night onto the roads. The yellow lines are 10 foot, and then they're in 30-foot gaps, just like you would see on the real roads. Got the white line and double yellow line right up near the railroad crossing there. I've also stopped from putting the white lines on the other side. I've still got to finish the scenery on that side, and then I'm going to put those white lines in, as well as determine, I'm not sure, I know you can see the black lines there. I'm thinking about possibly a road there, but I'm not sure. It'll just be kind of like a pull off and then goes off into the coal. But I think I might actually move that to this side, and then that way I've got where I can bring trucks in and have the truck loader there over near the bulldozer. Have a little turnaround there. But I've got it coming across the railroad tracks here. Still got to do weathering on the road. And one of the people that had passed away this month, was one of my aunts, and me and her have had a running joke for a long time between us, and I thought it was kind of fitting that we would have a little hardware store together. So the Walton and Sons Lumber Company has turned into the D&G hardware store. So that will be lumber as well as your hardware needs. And for any of those that are watching that knows my Aunt Darlene, she is posted down here and watching over the hardware company. So we'll go on and we'll get close to that. Also picked up this month this rail box, heavily weathered and graffitied boxcar. I thought it was a pretty cool looking car. Show you the other side here shortly, but I kind of like how it's just sitting there waiting for the switching to get done. I also staged this train last night, so you got a couple empty coal hoppers going back to be pushed in to get loaded. Here is the parking lot. I've still got to stripe it and weather it as well. And this, like I said, will be D&G hardware. I've got some of the gravel around the parking lot. I've still got right past that shrub there and the blue car. I've still got to do it, as well as add some debris and some more trees and shrubs in on this side. But you can kind of see that static grass kind of standing tall there. And it's still short enough for N scale, I believe. Looks right to me, so we're going to call it good. There is my figurine for my Aunt Darlene, talking to our security guard for D&G hardware. I do not glue my figurines down. I try to move them around so that they are able to pose in different areas of the layout. But I've got a few more trucks and forklifts and stuff to add, as well as some more lumber into the lumber shed there. I'll show you the next thing that I'd worked on this month here very shortly, and it'll help bring out the interior for sure. There's Tex watching the cars being loaded inside. Okay, last month you remember I had that foam that I glued and had just put there with some trees on it. I'm starting to do the rock work for it. That rock work is almost done. I've still got to blend some and do a few more colorings with it, as well as add some rain runoff mudslides to it. Once that's done, then I'll be able to put the grass, the trees, shrubs, and figurines in, because I've got a couple of figures that are going to be going on this. One of my favorite features, and this was actually suggested from my daughter when I got the bear pack several months back. I got a little bear den up here. I got to finish that off. And then I'm going to have a bear that's actually going to be up on the top of the mountain. That's going to be his mountain. So we picked him out whenever we first got that bear pack, and we decided that's where his home's going to be. So he'll be moving around on the mountaintop up there, so I got to cut him some trails in. I was sitting here and I told you guys that I wanted the coal mine conveyor coming across the tracks here. I still got to put the lower bend in, and as well as putting the corner pieces in. I'm going to build this corner as well as the other 3 or 4 that I've got and build them up. And then I'm going to put that bend in for right here. And I'm going to have this inside part done with rock work as well. And then have some trees and shrubs on it. So and kind of give it a little bit more color through here, not just the plain brown and then gray ballast. But hopefully that scenery will be going in shortly. But as I was over here and I was fixing this side, I'd noticed that on my rock work, I'd kind of chipped away a little bit and it opened up a little hole. So I went ahead and I dug this out with a hobby knife, and it actually does have quite a bit of depth to it. So I think I'm going to have some cave explorers coming out of there, probably crawling out. At the end, they can actually stand up pretty easy, but I've got it small enough inside to where I could probably have them on their hands and knees kind of crawling out. So hoping to have that scene complete, like I said, later this month. And see if we can focus in there. And my goal is I want to actually do the whole peninsula with scenery. And if we can get all the scenery done, I will do another bonus update, hopefully before the end of the month. So we'll see how that goes. That was actually what my goal for this update was, but as you can see, I kind of stopped on my scenery right over there. And I forgot how long it actually does take to ballast track. I told you I'd show you the other side of that boxcar, so let's go and take a look at it real quick. And then we'll go back down and do another flyby. And then I'll turn the lights out and do my next piece for the update. There is the other side of the graffitied car. It's a Roblox car. And it's from Microtrains. It is number 1 on the graffiti Roblox cars. As I said, I've got a couple empty gondolas there waiting to go in and be loaded. I'm hoping to get the scenery up and complete by the end of the month, and then that way, not only one do I give you guys an update, but I think I may do another bonus video of me switching the couple industries out here. As I was doing this, I realized that the turnouts down through there, that I still hadn't installed the tortoises at the time, so I've got those installed. I also came down through here. As you remember, this was all just a foam piece with the rough edge. So I went ahead and I filled that in all the way down, started painting it, and then I've got the rock work down through here that I've still got to color, and then do the ballasting all the way down. And I've still got a little bit of blue foam that's showing, so we'll get all that painted right before the ballasting. Come back in, do the grass, the shrubs, put some debris down through here. And I'm kind of hoping before I do the next update that we try and get the fence, piping, and actually get this full oil depot going and do the scenery all the way up to the portal for Natural Tunnel. And then after we get that, the next focus will be laying the track for up here and completing the 3 businesses that I've got up there and doing the scenery work in there. And I may go ahead and try, before I do that op session, I may go ahead and try to do at least the track work, and then that way I've got some space to kind of stage the cars for doing the mini op session for D&G hardware and for the coal mine. Pretty happy with the way the scenery turned out over there though. Can't wait to see more of it done and to actually have some trees that are trains that are actually running through the scenes.
Really happy with the way the static grass turned out. I've got a few bare areas here and there. I need to add a few more with it. But very, very happy with the way it's turning out. Starting to actually look like a railroad and not just a big pile of foam and plaster. Scenery is by far my favorite part, and I'm usually very meticulous on how I do it. I try to make it look just like the real world, so it takes me a little bit longer to get a little further than what I'm hoping to, but hopefully the next update you'll see all of that done, and then all the way around with the ballasting and everything. So one last thing for you, give me just a second and I'll be right back on that. Alright, welcome back, and this is the last part of the update. For some of you, I have been sharing this online. Still got a few things to do. I've got a little bleed through, I've got some roof sections that I still need to get glued down. But there's the coal mine. And then here's D&G hardware. On D&G hardware, I've still got a little bleed through, and I need to add some interior to our little office. But I'm going to try to get you in kind of close on this building, the fully enclosed one. You can actually see that when I was building that, I went ahead and put the lumber loads in there. I've got lumber separated out. 2x2s, 4 inch by 4 inch, 6 by 6, 2x4s, different various lengths. We'll go around to the other side and hopefully you can see them a little bit better, and we'll go ahead and pull this train out a little bit too. That will hopefully show us a little bit more. This was a fun project, but it was very time consuming as well. So sorry for the bouncy camera here. Can see some of that lumber in there. Shift over to the other side. All the lights I ran up into the actual rafters of the building, through the trusses and everything. So a lot of time went in this building, but it was a major labor of love, and like I said, it was a dedication building to one of my aunts. So that being said, I will see you guys on the next update, and hopefully that will be not too far from now, with hopefully the full peninsula being totally scenic. And I might try to combine that with the mini op session. I'm not sure. If not, I'll make that in the next update video. So we will see you guys on that, and I hope y'all stay safe and be careful.